The Gospel for this Monday of the first week of Lent is the episode of Matthew chapter 25, which recounts the story of the final judgment, when the Son of Man comes in his glory as the judge of the living and the dead. He will separate people as the shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And to those on his right, he will say, "Come to me, blessed of my Father, for I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was sick, and you visited me," etc. And to those on his left, he will say, "Depart into the eternal fire, accursed ones, for I was hungry, and you did not give me food. I was thirsty, and you did not give me drink." I especially highlight in this episode the way it concludes. "When was it that we saw you and did not recognize you?" And then Jesus says, "Every time you did it to one of these my humble brothers, you did it to me." This passage, this last expression, in this gospel is cited in the encyclical Deceive Nos. In the recent encyclical that Pope Francis has written about the Sacred Heart of Jesus, in the 5th chapter of that encyclical, it speaks of reparation, of how to repair the heart of Jesus Christ. Because Jesus loves us, and his love is not reciprocated. He says to Saint Margaret Mary Alacoque, "Behold this heart that has so loved the world and in return has so often received contempt." That is to say, Jesus thirsts to be loved. He is not indifferent to our response of love. Then, a key question is, how can we repair this offended love of Christ? How can we return love for love? Well, in point 167 of that encyclical, it says, the best response to the love of his heart is love for our brothers. There is no greater gesture we can offer him to return love for love. And it is there that it cites today's gospel text. "Truly, I tell you, every time you did it to one of these my humble brothers, you did it to me." That is to say, it is, therefore, a call to love our neighbor and especially the weakest, so as to repair the heart of Christ, to return to Christ's love for love. And, certainly, it is worth highlighting what the encyclical also says, that in identifying himself with the least in society, with the weakest, the hungry, the thirsty, the sick, etc., he introduced a great novelty because he dignified every human person. Yes, there is no unworthy person in this society. Once Jesus Christ identifies himself especially with the last, with the least in history. Let us love our neighbor, so that we may repair the heart of Christ. And so that we may also respond to that call Jesus makes to us in his final judgment.